Welcome back. Now, in time for the 2017 Jakarta gubernatorial elections, as it draws near, information tech company InTouch Innovate Indonesia is working together with Microsoft Indonesia and other partners to develop an app called MataRakyat. Now, the app will be able to gather elections real and quick count info in just a matter of minutes after the votes are made.
On the 15th of February 2017, over 7 million Jakartans will vote either of the three candidates for this year's Jakarta gubernatorial elections. And to help Jakartans access more information regarding the elections, InTouch Innovate Indonesia is working together with Microsoft Indonesia and other partners to develop an app called MataRakyat. The app will be able to provide real and quick count information just a matter of minutes after the votes are made. The official vote count for the Jakarta elections is usually informed by the General Elections Commission 12 days after the election date. Meanwhile, the quick count takes 2% sampling from total real count data. The MataRakyat app takes advantage of the Microsoft Cloud service to help give real-time survey results with the crowd participation, e-Saksi or e-witness volunteer method. E-Saksi are volunteers spread in 5 Jakarta districts and 1,000 islands. They each use their smartphones to upload election results to the MataRakyat server in real time from each elections booth. To help support the app, Microsoft Indonesia will provide MataRakyat the cloud service Azure.
And to talk more about the MataRakyat app, we have with us in the studio Ruben Hatari, who is a corporate affairs director of Microsoft Indonesia. Hi, Ruben. Thank you so much for coming.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Now, we saw a little bit about the app MataRakyat, but just explain to us more. And how beneficial is it going to be for Jakartans?
Well, I think as far as launching a particular app such as MataRakyat, this is actually the first time that we are doing it in Indonesia.
Right.
The reasoning behind it, I think it fits into the mission of Microsoft, that we want to promote open, transparent government, and how is technology doing, advancing those missions as well. The actual app itself, I think it is divided into two, in the sense that the technology is very easy to develop. I think using our back-end infrastructure, the Azure infrastructure, it only took 2 weeks to actually develop the apps and sharpen the apps as well, and to actually finally launch it about a week ago. Now, the critical component of it is that how are we involving the public to actually download it, to ensure that they are becoming the e-witness, as you've seen in the video, to ensure that the process is fair and transparent as well.
Okay, now tell us a bit more about how it works. You use e-Saksi or e-witness.
Right.
So they're in different elections booths and they upload to the app? Or
so on the 15th of February in DKI, there will be roughly about 17,000 e-Saksi. Sorry, 17,000 TPS. Right. What we're aiming for is that we're aiming between 3 to 5 e-Saksi or e-witness. You download the app, you register yourself as an e-Saksi in each of these TPS. Basically, when you actually download the app, you insert your ID number. It will actually register your name and number to the KPU, to the Commission board, and it will actually register you to which particular place of voting or TPS that you have been registered to, right? So that is the first component of it. And what it will actually look at as well is that when you actually download it on the 15th of February, when you actually place your vote, at the end of the day when the TPS close, what they normally do is that they have the C1 form actually planted on the board, right? So they will actually jot down, number 1 actually raise X many votes, number 2 X many votes, and number 3 X many votes as well. What you will do as an e-Saksi or an e-witness, you will take a photo of that, right? And you will also actually key in the actual numbers as well, right? Now, the interesting part about this application, it has a component of peer-to-peer validation, right? So what happens is that we will, when you actually submit the photo as well as the picture as well, you will actually be randomly, sent to another e-Saksi as well. They will actually validate, and you will be receiving another actually submission as well coming from an e-Saksi to ensure that whatever they've put in is actually valid.
Right, because validity and accuracy in terms of this is very important.
Of course.
Because it's talking about vote count. Now, talking about accuracy, how else will this app maintain accuracy for the quick count? I read before about the geotagging and also timestamp. Could you?
Yeah. So the geotagging, I mean, as I mentioned before, because this is the only registered app at KPU as well. What happens is that when they actually release the information of which TPS that you belong to, right? So you as an e-saksi, when you actually put in the data, you're submitting the data, you will actually be geotagged. We just want to make sure that you actually belong to that particular TPS, and we want to make sure as well that you are actually submitting that actual photo and whatever that you're inputting into the data into the database at the correct time when the TPS is closed. Right. So that's actually just a new an added mechanism, just an added checkpoint. Just we want to make sure that all of the checkpoints are cleared.
Right. Now, and this app is going to be free?
Of course, this is free of charge. Right. It's available on Android as well as on iOS as well.
Right. So when a person downloads it, for example, if I download it and then I can see immediately the quick count results in how long?
So when you download it, you can actually be a participant to actually look at the movement of the quick count on that particular day, or you can actually volunteer yourself as an e-saksi. I mean, we want to push as many people to become e-saksi so they can participate in the process. So that's the whole idea of it.
Okay. Now, talking about Microsoft's role in it, you guys are also providing the cloud service Azure.
Right.
Could you tell us more about that? What's the benefits of using Cloud Azure, for example, for this kind of particular app?
So the Microsoft business and I think technology as a whole, and we're shifting to that direction of what cloud technology and what cloud technology can bring to society as a whole, right? I think in the past we've always talked about cloud as a data center where we store data, but we want to shift that paradigm that we can actually address some of these key issues in Indonesia or all over the world, and in this case, politics. Promoting clear, transparent government. So when the InTouch team actually came to us a couple of weeks ago, they actually presented this idea. Instantly we said, oh, this is an area that Microsoft want to be involved in. We want to sharpen it. But they also saw the opportunity that because the traffic only goes into one day, right? We're looking at about 5 million concurrent users on that particular day on the 15th. They need backend infrastructure, right? They need backend infrastructure to actually process all of that data coming in. Now, if InTouch actually were to actually make their own infrastructure, it would cost quite significant amount. So they actually partner with us, and we take that load off of them.
All right. Now, well, if you're talking about cloud service, of course, security is a big issue. I mean, there's been incidents in the past with hacking and stuff like that. And this is talking about elections. Now we're talking about security for the Azure cloud service for MataRakyat app. How are you guys going to ensure security?
I think that the security for this application actually falls into two categories. You have the ones on the ground as well through the peer-to-peer validation, just to make sure that whatever is inserted is actually the right amount of the correct number and correct photograph. So that's the bottom line. But I think going back to the security of the actual infrastructure as well, I mean, Azure, we are certified through various ISOs, right? So you have the ISO 27001 that is talking about IT risk management as well. But ISO 27018 is that how do we adhere as a cloud service provider to ensure that customers' data are actually held in a manner, in a secured and private manner as well. So we can assure you that it's safe and private as well.
Right. Now, is this app the first of its kind? I mean, for voting and transparency, it seems it's quite revolutionary.
There are a few apps all over the world. I think it needs to be kind of adjusted to how the election process is in every country, right? In the case of Indonesia, it's still the conventional method, and I think the introduction of technology is in a way that we're only starting at the beginning. Okay, it's not set on stone. I mean, this is a learning process for Microsoft as well as for InTouch. In Indonesia, there are about 500 regional governments, right? How we see it is that the success that we do in Jakarta, our learning pattern, maybe we can actually sharpen it as well for other regions throughout Indonesia.
Right. Now, do you foresee in the future that it's going to be used for simultaneous elections or even presidential elections? And
the direction is that we're hoping to go that direction. I mean, we have one foot in the door already. That is the only application that is registered at KPU. But again, we'll see after the 15th. I mean, if it provides quick count to the Indonesia Jakarta citizens in a timely manner, maybe we will be scaling it to other parts of the country.
Right. Now, I also read that the app will also show the data on certain media sites as well.
Media sites as well as the websites as well. So you can always try to monitor the progress of the quick count in each step of the way, right? And I think that's the interesting part of the app, because it's very fast, right? So it gives that overview of the quick count.
All right. No, just very quickly. How about the commercial applications for this kind of service? Do you foresee any kind of commercial applications for
At the moment, I think Microsoft participation is that we don't really see, we're not trying to monetize out of this application.
Right.
Again, this is Microsoft commitment to showing that cloud computing, the new sets of technology, is going to, or can address some of the challenges that we're facing. But there is a possibility that we can actually monetize out of it. But we'll have to see where we're actually heading post 15th of February.
Okay, Ruben. Well, I hope it goes successfully and helps the elections be more transparent.
Thank you.
Successful. Thank you so much, Ruben.
Thank you.
And now it's time to give you the updates of the stock market's closing numbers from across Asia. And as usual, we begin in Hong Kong, where the Hang Seng Index moved up by 0.22%. In China, Shanghai Composite also up by 0.18%. However, in Japan, Nikkei 225 still could not move up to the green zone. It was down 0.55%, while in Singapore, Straits Times increased 0.54%. Now back here in Indonesia, the JCI, or the Jakarta Composite Index, meanwhile jumped 0.78%, and the rupiah also increased by 0.24% to 13,318 rupiah per US dollar. And after the break, we'll see how Jakartans are preparing for the Chinese New Year. We'll be right back right after the break.